Hey, welcome back. We are jumping right into lesson 3 from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Mind your own business. Now, in our last explainer, we really broke down the huge difference between an asset and a liability. If you missed that one, seriously, go check it out. The link's in the description. You're going to need that foundation for what we're talking about today. All right, so chapter 3 kicks off with this incredible story, one that I guarantee will change how you think about your job and your money. And it all starts with a very, very simple question. I mean, it's obvious, right? Hamburgers. That's exactly what a room full of brilliant MBA students at the University of Texas thought when the founder himself, Ray Kroc, asked them that exact question way back in 1974. They were pretty confident, but boy, were they about to get a lesson. Can you imagine the silence in that room? That was Ray Kroc's answer. And with that one line, he basically handed them the key to understanding the third lesson from Rich Dad. It's a total mind bender. So what on earth did he mean by that? Well, Kroc went on to explain that sure, his main gig was selling hamburger franchises, but he knew from day one that the real long-term business, the real wealth, was in the land under every single one of those iconic golden arches.
I mean, think about how genius this is. The person who bought the franchise, they were the ones paying the mortgage on the land. But it was Ray Kroc's company that owned it. Fast forward to today, and McDonald's is literally the largest single owner of real estate in the world. They own some of the most valuable street corners on the planet, all because they knew what business they were truly in.
And this story, it just shines a massive spotlight on a trap that almost everybody falls into. We confuse our profession with our business. And let me tell you, they are two completely different things. Let's break it down like this. You could have the profession of a banker, but you don't own the bank. You could be a fantastic chef, but you don't own the restaurant. See, your profession is what you do to get a paycheck. Your business, well, that's what you own. It's your asset column. Your profession makes someone else rich. Your business is what makes you rich. And that's the bottom line, right? When you spend your entire life just focused on climbing the ladder in your profession, you are, by definition, minding someone else's business. You're putting all your energy into making them wealthy. Just think about where your paycheck goes. When your only income is a salary, you're really working for 3 groups before you ever work for yourself. First, the company. You're making the owners and shareholders rich. Second, the government. They take their cut before you even see the money. And third, the bank, which gets your mortgage payments and credit card interest. After all that, you get what's left. You get paid last. So how in the world do you break out of that cycle? Well, Rich Dad's advice is incredibly direct. You have to start minding your own business. This right here is the game changer. This isn't about telling your boss you quit tomorrow. Not at all. It's about using your day job, your profession, as a tool to fuel your real business, which is the business of buying assets. And remember what we talked about last time? The definition is so simple. An asset puts money in your pocket. That's it. So your business, your true business, becomes this relentless, focused mission to acquire things that generate income for you. Oh, I love this quote. It perfectly captures the mindset shift you need. You're not just saving money, you are hiring it. Every single dollar you put into your asset column is like a little employee that goes to work for you.
And honestly, it's the best employee you could ever ask for. It works 24/7, never calls in sick, doesn't need a vacation, and it can keep working for your kids and their kids long after you've decided to hang it up. That's the real power of minding your own business. Okay, so what happens when you actually start doing this? When you start building that asset column? Well, it totally changes your relationship with the finer things in life. This isn't about never having nice things. It's about changing how and, more importantly, when you get them. Look, there are basically 2 ways to buy a luxury item. The most common path is to use debt. You work hard, you get a loan for that fancy car, and boom. Now you're stuck on a hamster wheel, working even harder just to pay for it. The rich path is the complete opposite. You build your assets first, and then you let the income from those assets buy the car for you. And that's the big secret. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about making a luxury a true reward for a smart investment, not the cause of more financial stress. The rich buy luxuries last, only after their asset column is strong and generating cash. The book has this perfect real-world example. Kim Kiyosaki really wanted a Mercedes. Now, instead of just going out and getting a loan for it, she was patient. For 4 years, they focused on growing their real estate portfolio. And eventually, the extra cash flow, the profit from their rental properties, was enough to pay for the car. The asset bought the luxury. Imagine how much sweeter that felt, knowing it was proof of their financial success.
Okay, we've covered a ton here. The McDonald's secret, the difference between your job and your business, and the whole buy luxury's last rule. So if there's one single thing you take away from all this, what should it be? This is it. This is the entire lesson in a single sentence. It's all about shifting your focus. Stop just thinking about your next paycheck or your next raise, and start thinking about your next asset. Start minding your own business.
So yeah, building that asset column is absolutely the foundation for building wealth. But, there's another level to this game. There's another powerful tool the rich use to get way, way ahead of everybody else. And that secret is exactly what we're going to break down in our explainer for Chapter 4. It's all about the history of taxes and the real power of corporations. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching.